All right, Kiss Army, welcome to the KissFAQ podcast. Thank you for giving us your time today and letting us into your head. I hope we don't do any damage. This is a Kiss-related podcast by the board, for the board. We hope that you enjoy. All right, welcome to the KissFAQ podcast. I'm your host, Julian Gill. Today we've got 69th Blizzard Ken, who was early, Lonnie, who was on time, and Mark, who came sliding into home base right as we went live. So good timing, Mark.
That's right.
Hey, he's here. First. Ultimately, you guys are here. We've got an audience. So I want to thank everyone who's joining us live, who may come on. Oh, wrong chat. Let's see. We got Ronnie Parker, as always, in the house. Kisser Masters Films, the Opal Archive, AB, CD, EF. All right, AB. AB is here. So thank you for joining us live. I was late putting out that we're going to do a show this week. Next week, I won't be around. So love to see if these guys want to do something without me. Do one of those shows where they can cover stuff that I don't allow to be talked about.
We can do the unrestricted stuff.
Because I'm so uptight and controlling.
KissFAQ after dark.
Yeah, get the it's better than KissFAQ only fans. Ooh. For $5, I'll keep
Ken's
my
gonna
clothes
get that
on.
tank top out that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
All right, we've got some other folks who've rolled on into the chat. Where's Drago? Austin, David, good to see you, buddy. Dean, thank you very much for joining us. So we're going to be doing the death match. We've still got a whole tub full of songs to work through. Let's turn it around the right way, Kiss logo, to get through all these insane matchups and see which song is going to win this. We've only got 26 songs that have gone through. Before we get into that, there is some news this week. Today, it's been reported in Rolling Stone and reputable news channels and also TMZ that the family of Fran have filed suit against a plethora of parties relating to his death from whatever. We don't know what. Don't know the details, don't want the details, don't want to know anything about any of that. It's just very sad, obviously, to see that. But in California, the statute of limitations for that sort of thing is 2 years. So it's no shock that right before the 2-year mark, a suit has been filed. So, I don't know if anyone wants to comment on that, go for it. But other than just mentioning it, I don't really have much to say on it because I don't know any details and I don't want to know any details.
Yeah,
it's not shocking, like you said, Julian. But at the same time, it's difficult to comment on because we don't know any of the details, nor is it really any of our business. So it's interesting, and we'll kind of see how it plays out.
Yep, the voice of reason is Lonnie today. Ken.
Yeah, so that's why I agree with Lonnie.
That's the only time they're going to agree today.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Like you said, it's none of our business. We'll have to see how it plays out. I don't. It doesn't surprise me that the family is doing that because they must know some things. I'm sure they do, which led them to open the suit against them. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll play devil's advocate.
No.
Really?
Am I surprised that it's happening? No. I mean, look at Gene. Is a man who loves money, and when it comes to think of it, these people probably learned from the best. They spent a lot of time around Kiss, and when they see opportunity for money, maybe they thought it was a good idea to do it. Now we don't know why they're doing it, but people are saying that their medical things weren't as strict as other touring things. We don't know any of that, but why they're doing it. Look. People want money, okay? Whether it's from a job or any other way, lots of people try to find little ins and outs to do it. Am I surprised? This is America. You guys are the leading people for these kind of things in the world.
USA.
Pointing fingers.
I'm pointing. USA, you are the problem.
Money.
You are the problem.
Yeah,
Because
your
you
prime
US
minister is
people.
Trudeau. So
Hey, let me tell you
right
something.
back at you.
Here in Canada, I pick up obviously American channels, and every American channel I have every 5 minutes. Have you been living on this piece of land for the last 20 years? You can be involved in a lawsuit. Call this number. There are so many lawsuit lawyers from in America. It's unbelievable. And you ambulance chaser guys and all that. You Americans are great for that.
Yeah, I heard
yes,
that.
USA.
Lonnie doesn't like money.
No.
You know what? We all need money, Mark. And you know what? We don't know the details. There was an early Rolling Stone article about some of the protocols being skipped, some of the crew allegedly using fake COVID cards for vaccinations. But you know what? When they went back on tour and Paul got it and Gene got it, I didn't go to the show because I was that uncomfortable with the situation. Ken had an extra seat next to him because I wasn't there front row at a Kiss show because I was feeling like shit and was afraid that I was coming down with it and wasn't going to go and infect people. And I also didn't know if I was ill or not. So, you know what? Everyone made their own choices in life, so whatever. They're going to get it sorted out. I don't think we're going to hear much about it because it will probably get settled. Most of these things do.
Yeah.
And I think most of us have all agreed that it's none of our fucking business. And you are responsible for your own decisions, whatever that may be. And Fran was beloved by a lot of fans. And he works in the industry, and there were pressures on bands to get back out there as well, and the touring industry. So it was an ugly situation for everyone. Hopefully, whatever it is gets resolved so that people can move on without you never put the loss of a loved one behind you. All right. Yeah. So speaking of that, I just got my fucking booster last Friday, and I was sick for 4 days. The sickest I have ever been, including the first time I had COVID, original adoption of it. It made me so fucking sick. I actually I was unconscious. It was so unpleasant. So
wow. It's a great advertisise for the booster.
Well, I went to I got Moderna this time, and everything else had been Pfizer before that. So it absolutely kicked my ass. So enough about healthcare. This is a music podcast. All right, so a Kiss vinyl release has been announced this week. A Walmart-only special edition of the title everyone has been waiting to add to their collection. Ken?
I'm not waiting for that one. Come on. I mean, the song selection is just your general classic Kiss songs.
Now, do you remember what the title is?
What's the title, Ken?
What's the title?
What, Icon?
Yeah, when was it originally released?
Oh, that's a good trivia question.
Early 2000s, somewhere. Anyway.
I'm going to say 2009. Do you know, Julian, what's the answer?
I think it's actually 2000. I don't give a shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Mark is absolutely correct because I can't even be arsed to go and look it up. There were 2 editions of Icon that came, or actually 3. There's like an Icon 2 CD, a single CD, and there was Icons, and this is the cheapest of the cheap.
The Icons would have been, now that would have been cool if they would have done Icons and had the 4 discs or something of, each one has, one's Gene, one's Paul, and so on. That would have been cool. But this is kind of like some of those other Icon albums I've seen out there that they've been putting out as of late. None of them are appealing to me. It's not enough songs. It's kind of just a potpourri or whatever it is of songs. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Fuck.
And then they screwed up on the darn the title. That's right. The title of the darn
2010
Christine 16 Love Gun Christine 16 is all mashed together or whatever.
Love Gunch.
There's a typo. Yeah. So I don't know.
They actually
don't denigrate typos, Ken.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Julian goes, why do you hate typos?
I don't say anything.
Yeah,
about
that's
the
what
books.
you're just saying there.
All right, Mark, you were going to say something?
No, I was just gonna say that I saw they have the CD copy of that in my local store for a while now. It's been sitting there, like probably 2 inches of dust on it, which shows how exciting a release that is. But well, you know how people are with vinyl. Maybe they'll sell some because maybe there's still people who are in that early stage of being excited about vinyl and buying it, right?
Yeah, so I think my take on it is it's cool enough. It's a space filler for someone. It's going to be interesting to someone. I don't give a shit about it. It was actually released in
The
2010.
doorstop.
The Icons release came in 2008, and then Icons and Icons 2 were 2010. So I don't care about it, but it's something different. I mean, who had that bingo on their bingo card for the month? Kiss is going to reissue, or Universal in this case, is going to reissue Icons. Did not see that coming.
I mean, it's fine, but where's the very best of Kiss on vinyl? That'd be badass.
In fluorescent green.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. That'd be cool.
I want that. No, I really want that, which is probably why they have not done it.
That's why they won't do it.
That's right.
How many times on this show over the last 9 years have we said that is, if we have to have some reissue, revinylized thing, give us the very best of Kiss as a gatefold with that impressive freaking image on the gatefold with fluorescent or some colored vinyl. It'd be spectacular. So you can't have
Agree.
it.
Nope. Yep. Here's Icons.
All right. So last piece of news is Ken.
Oh yes.
Bye. Dubai has been canceled. So it came with a very generic cancellation notice. I actually got an email from someone in Dubai taking the board to task for its pontifications. And I want to read some, because this is someone who lives in Dubai, someone who actually knows the market, someone who has a clue, and also someone who didn't appreciate being banned before they'd ever posted. Didn't meet security standards, unfortunately.
Wow.
So this person lives in Dubai, mentions that 2 weeks ago, a band featuring 2 Israeli musicians, Infected Mushroom, played the same venue. So it's a very open society. Protests are banned. Right now, their response to what's going on out there is don't take sides, don't protest. So nothing about safety justifies that. Basically saying the ticket sales sucked. And I add to that it's a convenient excuse, therefore, to cancel a show that wasn't selling and get the band members home early. Because obviously anyone who's on Facebook knows that some members of the crew had already gone to Dubai and the band had yet to fly. So anyone shocked that it's canceled?
No.
No.
Not shocked.
Just not going to get Dubai merch ever.
Well, that's the thing. Are you surprised that what happened with the whole fiasco that happened with the last thing that Dubai was associated with, that this happened? I mean, I don't know. It just has a bad people. I think people just had a bad taste in their mouth with it. I mean, I could be totally wrong about that, and it's just maybe there's some other issues that made that happen. But I don't know. It seems kind of odd that everywhere else it seems to be doing great this tour, except for this spot all of a sudden.
Yep, I'm just responding to Titania. Yeah, Scotland got bloody robbed by the Spanish and VAR today. So don't even get me started.
Are you talking about cricket or something?
Football.
Oh, football. Okay.
Real football.
Maybe the going Dubai thing. Maybe the original Dubai one, which they played for a pool, and then the hotel had actually more people than that bought tickets for the most recent one.
Well, don't forget, 2020 was all subsidized. There was 2020 was subsidized. There was very little audience there, and what was there was going direct to the band, essentially, through a package. That was tourist industry. That was basically paid for. By both the streamer Atlantis and the Dubai Tourist Board. So that one doesn't even count as a show because that couldn't not go on because the whole object of it was that you didn't have to leave your home to go and see it. This one had a promoter. Again, I'm paraphrasing now what the gentleman said in the email, that this had a promoter who was going to lose real money without the benefit of subsidies. So therefore, no shot, no shot whatsoever. All right, fuck all that news. Oh, wait, I got to go back up here. Vinny Vincent news. No, I'm still trying to decipher that freaking post on the FAQ about Vinny's latest comments, because that's just too much fucking crazy, even for the FAQ in one place. So apparently he wants multiple vinyl singles in the lead up to the release or something in 2024. Faux shizzle. Oh, God, I mean, it doesn't.
His album?
I have no idea. And apparently all systems go again is go again. Maybe.
Stop.
Magical. Canceled.
There it is. Canceled. There it is. Official.
Actually, no. Dubai is not a culture.
Wow.
Actually, it's not official.
Another off the top rope.
Kiss never said anything from their Twitter. They never posted anything on their website. They just went with what was done. Even last night, it's like
it never happened
on the tour, and now today it's just gone, and it's just magical, and it's gone.
Oh yeah, Kiss Cancer Goodbye 2020. Neil Davis's event in Sarasota, is it? I'm not going.
Florida,
yeah. All right, let's get into some deathmatch songs. We'll work our way through our list for the next 45 minutes. Lots of comments so far. Chime in with your votes, people, because sometimes we do need a tiebreaker. I'm not going to vote.
People get it wrong here.
Unless needed, which with an even number of people is going to be King of the Nighttime World against.
It's a cover, man.
It's a cover.
It's a cover.
It's on Destroyer, so we know which way Mark's voting.
Anything else?
Well, do we? Master and Slave.
Oh,
One of the best songs to my taste off Carnival of Souls versus a really shit hot song, because if you've heard the Hollywood Stars version of King of the Nighttime World, Kiss really did kissify it.
Better job.
Mark,
yeah,
I have to start with you because Ezrin's in the house.
Yeah. And funny, I was doing a live stream. I do one on Sunday and Tuesday. Ken sometimes pops in on that one with Patrick and I. And they actually played the original version of King of the Nighttime World on that stream, and it was very swinging, King of the Nighttime World. It's like, wow, this is so much better. Ezrin didn't touch this.
Better.
So, anyway, I know Lonnie loves that comment. So, but Master and Slave is not a bad song. I mean, like Julian said, on that album where there's so much debris on it, you would have thought that Bob Ezrin actually worked on that album. But the songs that are on there that are decent are pretty good. And I think, honestly, I might even go with Master and Slave over King of the Nighttime World. No big surprise, but, it's kind of, it's got some balls to it. There's no stupid pianos or anything like that, or any kind of ridiculous, unnecessary production on it. There's hardly any production on the Carnival of Soul stuff. So, you know what? Just to give Bob Ezrin a big FU, I'm going with, Master and Slave.
No one saw that coming.
FU, Bob.
Lottie.
Shocking. No, King of the Nighttime World, man. It is a classic Kiss song. It's one of the reasons it is. Stop it. You had your turn. It's one of the reasons we love Kiss. It's on one of the albums is why we love Kiss. King of the Nighttime World, hands down. I freaking love that song. I've only gotten to hear him play it twice ever. I wish they would still play it because it is so good. And people would, and why they don't play it, I really don't know, because people would know it. I think it would get a great reaction out of the crowd. It's King of the Nighttime World without question. Master and Slave is a good song. Like Julian said, it's one of the better songs on Carnival, but King of the Nighttime World is classic Kiss. Come on.
Thank you.
Ken.
Yes.
Let me down, Ken.
All right,
I will not let you down. Yeah, King of the Nighttime World for me.
One coming.
Oh, come on. King of Nighttime World is much better. I do not like Master and Slave. I really don't like it. I probably only like pretty much mostly just the Gene stuff, except for Goat, Jungle, and the other one, the acoustic one. The other one by Paul.
The memorable song.
Yeah, but King of Nighttime World is a good song, even though yes, they didn't write it. They, like Julian said, they KissFAQ'd it and made it, their own, and it came out pretty darn good. I've always thought it was a great song.
Well,
it's not a skip. It's not a skip for me.
All right. Well, that's King through because the live audience is unanimous. Well, semi-unanimous. I would have gone with King as well. As much as I love Master and Slave and think it's one of the stronger songs on Carnival of Souls, and it's one of those riffs that I actually grab a guitar when I hear, as I find it inspiring. But here we go. Opal Archive. Paul's vocal, Paul's delivery.
Yeah,
everything that's represented on the studio recording that Mark hates, I love. You're unhappy, Mark? That makes me happy.
Oh no, I'm not unhappy. Everything is good here in Canada.
Yeah. Is it?
Except Bob Bezrin.
Is it really?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
If we find him, though, we're getting his ass out and dumping into
Except for the
USA.
cold
USA. Get him out of here.
Oh boy.
Oh,
on, like
we
you guys
have
don't want cold weather.
we have someone disagreeing with us. Remarkably, yeah. All right.
Well, there's a voice of logic there. There you go.
Oh, sensible. All right. Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
All right.
Voices. I should read the other one. Oh, fuck. The Oath. Tomorrow versus The Oath. Why is it songs that I actually really like against one another? Lonnie, we're going to start with you.
That's rough. That is rough doings right there. Because Tomorrow, we sing Tomorrow's praises on this show quite a bit and talk about how great and underrated song it is. And The Oath is like, The Oath is so good too, because it's like, man, there was Kiss finding a rock song for the first time in a while at that point, and it's great as well. Damn, but I'm gonna have to go with The Oath. As much as I love Tomorrow, I think I'm gonna go with The Oath, and I might be in the minority here, but I think I'm gonna go with The Oath. As tough of a decision as that is, because I really like Tomorrow. And I know you guys too, so you guys do as well. So I might be in the minority here.
Wow. I just thinking of that riff, the first time I ever heard the Oath riff. Holy shit. What a song. Ken.
Yeah, they're both good, really good songs. But I'm going to have to go with The Oath. Even though Tomorrow is just a catchy song, should have been a single and all that, hit and all that. It's the points are taken away from Tomorrow because of its lack of being a big rocker. It's too poppy, so that's the problem there. So The Oath still rocks, even though it's Bob Ezrin produced and a concept album and all that stuff. It's a great song, great riff, great vocals. Guitar solo is good too, so I like that one. A little bit better, not a lot better, but a little bit better.
You guys are breaking my heart, Mark.
Well, just like Lonnie said, we sing the praises of both songs on this podcast quite a bit. Tomorrow has been a song that I've always really loved, and since the first time I heard Unmasked, I really thought that was a standout song. And we've all said before that if that album had a proper remix, it would be such a standout record if they, fixed a couple of things on that mix. And I really think that it, just because of those little things that were misstepped by Mr. Poncia there on it, it took it from being a good record to being almost a classic record. But I really love Tomorrow, and I'd have to go with it for one, if not for one other reason, is because of that numpty Ezrin who was involved with The Oath. He doesn't deserve my vote on that song where his greasy, grimy hands were all over it. Of course, at that point he was, half in the bag and probably didn't know what was going on anyways in the studio. So, it can only blame him partially for such a atrocious album.
I'm hoping we have no more Ezrin songs today.
Yeah, because I hope there's more, because I have more.
Mark
There's plenty more where
Mark
that came
driving
from.
it home as usual.
Okay, because Bob is just it's like rat poison, this guy, to Kiss music. Okay, just keep him away from it. Okay, I want my Kiss music Ezrin free, people. Okay, I'm talking to you out there, you. Okay.
All right, so you're voting for The Oath?
Okay.
No, I'm voting for Tomorrow.
Okay, thank God, because I would have gone with Tomorrow as much as I love The Oath, because I absolutely adore Tomorrow, but The Oath's already won it because the audience has said that The Oath wins it as well.
Tomorrows there.
Not enough.
Not Oath. Yeah, that would be enough to do the dirty on Tomorrow, which I'm just surprised that song's already gone. All right. I get to leave that up while I get the next songs out.
Yeah. Trust in what? Stupidity.
Wow.
How to ruin a Kiss song. In Ezrin we trust.
Listen to The Wall. Listen to Momentary Lapse of Reason.
Yeah, I said the Kiss stuff, not the other stuff. I always said he's good with Floyd.
So he's
good with
he's clearly not the
$1 billion
Antichrist.
babies.
Yeah.
If he was the Antichrist, he'd poison
He
everything.
is the anti-Kiss Christ.
Listen to some classic Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
I have classic Cooper. I said I love his work with them.
All right, so here we go. I Love It Loud versus Into the Void.
Ooh.
How can we screw this one up,
Wow.
guys? Mark?
Can't screw this
Mark.
This is going to be easy. Okay. I Love It Loud. Hands down, no matter what. That is, if we're going to go, if I'm going to use the typical terms that my counterparts here, Lonnie and Ken, always use, classic song. It's a classic song. It's got to be that because it's a classic song. Okay. So for once, they'd be right this time because this is actually a classic song, unlike the other crap that they were voting on. But anyways, this is a classic song. And it deserves to be in the next round, much more than Into the Void. Into the Void is, it is a good song. It's probably the only true representation of Kiss on that album. Another horrendous album, but still, it's a good song.
Ken? I'm sorry, I have to ask you. It's almost insulting.
Yeah, of course. It's I Love It Loud. Into the Void is just more of a. It's not a bad song, but it's more of the filler type of a Kiss song. Even though it's it's enjoyable, but it's nothing like I Love It Loud.
Lonnie?
No, it's I Love It Loud as well. As much as I Love It Loud may be overdone in concert over the last 20 years, and Into the Void is one of the better songs on Psycho Circus. It's still I Love It Loud, hands down. It's not much of a comparison.
And not because it's classic, because it's a
Yeah,
better song.
I'm
it's
waiting
the
for you
better
guys.
song.
I'm waiting to hear it. Come on.
Thank you, Ken.
Well, Into the Void's not a classic because Paul Stanley hasn't said that it's a classic.
Yeah, Paul.
But Hell or Hallelujah is a
Decision on that. That's right.
All right.
Any sense.
Moving on. Oh, we got good
new
songs.
classic.
These are good songs coming up today. Parasite.
Parasite.
It's gonna have to be good.
Is that Shadow wheezing?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it? Yeah.
Sleep apnea.
He had a long walk this evening.
All right. So Parasite versus Jungle. Ken?
Yeah, I mean, Jungle's one of the better songs. Of course, I mentioned it earlier on Carnival of Souls, but Parasite. I mean, I'm not going to say classic, but I'm going to say it anyway. Classic. It is good. It's a great.
That turn's going to be haunting you
Deep.
guys now.
back in the early days, Kiss song, well written, well done, the whole thing. It's much better song. It's true Kiss.
Lottie.
Yeah, Parasite's so good. I love Parasite. It's really high on my list of favorite Kiss songs. And again, the Echo Ken Jungle is one of the better songs on Carnival, and I don't mind it at all. It's actually a pretty good song. I really love the bass riff on it that Bruce plays, and but
Did he lift it from Deep Purple?
correct. But Parasite's great. I love that riff on Parasite. I mean, it's one of the first songs I've learned how to play on guitar was Parasite, because it's just kind of fun and kind of easy to play a little bit, and you feel like, I've been playing guitar for a week, but I feel like I can halfway play this a little bit. So, but at the same time, it's really, really good. So it's definitely Parasite for me.
I love that breakdown guitar part in Parasite.
Yeah,
it's fun to play, real fun to play. Yeah,
fun, yeah.
Okay, so Parasite. Mark, you a Parasite?
Well, in thinking about it a bit,
he's gonna go Jungle just to be devil's advocate.
No. I mean, Jungle is a good song. I mean, it has an interesting bass riff going on there, and I like the way they kind of put that flanging effect on it. It sounds cool. But Parasite is a better written song. Now, this is a prime example of why songwriting is the most important thing, because that album sounds so bad. The actual mix and production of it, you would think Bob Ezrin would have worked on it, but overall the songs on it are so good and well structured that you can't help but love these songs. I mean, in one of my bands we used to play Parasite as our encore cover, and love playing. It's a fantastic song, and like Julian said, that breakdown part is fantastic. It gives a drummer a little bit of a spotlight when you let him do that little extra drum beat before he kick into it, like they do in the live versions. And of course, the live version of the song is a killer on a live. I absolutely love it. So I would be remiss if I went with Jungle instead of this song. But this song is great. I have to definitely go with this, and it's a classic song.
It is a classic. It's on the live. So, but groove wise, Jungle is very unusual as a Kiss song.
Yeah.
Or that groove that they do lock into, because they're
just
not known for doing that stylistically. And that to me doesn't kind of come out of the Seattle sound that they were chasing for that album either. I mean, that's a really weird composition, vocally, lyrically, musically. So it doesn't stand a chance against Parasite, though. No way, no how. Not smoking any pipe to vote for Jungle over Parasite. All right.
Shadow.
All right, next up. Oh, Hate.
Man,
Okay.
A lot of Carnival of Souls today.
We have so many of those songs made it through. Unbelievable.
Disappeared.
Well, because it was probably up against an album with 9 songs on it or something stupid. So 3 got a pass. All right, versus Is That You? Hate versus this is not top shelf Kiss. But Mark,
another cover song, Mark. Another cover song.
Mark.
Yeah.
Nice call, Ken.
So, I've always said before that song is what really an oddball song. I always thought, Is That You? It's okay. I mean, it's not a bad song, but I gotta say, we had a discussion about this once before about opening tracks on Kiss albums, how good they are. King of the Mountain, Strutter, and all these other great albums that we have great opening songs, Room Service. But this is probably one of the records, unfortunately, because the rest of it is so good, where the first 2 tracks on the album are pretty weak, and Hate is one of the examples of another song. I think that's pretty good opening track. It is a Gene song. So that has it against it. But other than that, I think that it's pretty strong. It has some good, rock and metal guitars on there and stuff, and it has the also has the advantage that there's no sight of Bob Ezrin on it anywhere, so that's another good thing as well. And yeah, so I think that I'm going to go with Hate. As much as
how the fuck did you manage to work Bob Ezrin into this song?
I was just gonna say, he just worked a little jab in there. He can't help himself. He just has to work a little jab in there.
Remember sitting there and looking at the sunset, enjoying.
Can we please go one episode without mentioning Bob Ezrin?
It's like looking at the sunset, Julian, and going, there's really not enough orange in this sunset. You can find something wrong.
Bob Ezrin overproduced this sunset.
He probably would, come to think of it, but
okay. So you're going with Is That You?
No, I'm going with Hate.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
This sunset's a little too pretty for my taste.
All right, Lottie. Is That You or Hate?
I'm going Hate as well. Hate is one of the standout tracks on Carnival. In my opinion, it's the best song on Carnival, and it represents to me what I like Carnival of Souls, but I think Hate represents what Carnival of Souls really could have been and how they advertised it as picking up where Revenge left off. And you start with a song like Hate, which is really tough and cool, as a term I use when I talk about Revenge quite a bit. And the album just kind of fades from there, in my opinion, in comparison to Revenge. I think Hate could be on Revenge. It sounds like something that could be on Revenge. Mm-hmm. And Is That You is fine, but it's a little too poppy for my taste when you compare it to a song like Hate.
I mean, you guys have put so much effort into that reasoning, and I actually agree with Jamie here. Neither. Can't we just throw both of these in the shit can and take tomorrow and put that into the next round?
Right?
No, because Julian math isn't allowed to exist, is it? I'm feeling repressed by this whole process now. Change the rules. All right, Ken. Can we please have some common sense?
Well, yeah. Is That You is probably the weakest lead-off song on any Kiss album. Seriously, I think it probably is.
It's up there.
I don't know which would be worse.
Detroit Rock City.
No, not Detroit Rock City. Come on now. Jeez.
This is terrible.
But Hate is a much. I more, it's a Kiss demon, demon type song. Evil Gene. I love it. I think it's a good, great song. But Is That You? Even when I put that album on the first time, it didn't sound like Kiss to me, and there was a reason. I didn't know because until I looked, after the fact and looked who wrote it. I was like, oh, no wonder it didn't feel like Kiss to me. It's written by some other guy, So yeah, Hate is it.
We all agree.
I love Hate.
Wrong. You guys are just all bloody wrong. Unholy too. Hate is everything that's wrong with Carnival of Souls for me. It's not even good.
Julian.
It's not even. It's horrendous. It's absolute bloody rubbish. Just
your vote is That You, really?
I would, yes.
Okay.
I would absolutely vote Is That You, because it's like the difference between Almost Human and God of Thunder. It's like the difference between Mr. Blackwell and God of Thunder. It's just a parody.
Julian's in the minority today.
I am in the minority, and people can tell me that I'm wrong because my vote.
He's very annoyed with all of us today.
I'm not. I'm just hurt. Don't like it when things don't go my way. All right.
Don't say My Way. I don't like that song either.
Gonna do it my way.
It's not getting Ken's vote either. Yeah.
Oh God, another unmasked song. Two Sides of the Coin.
Oh.
Versus.
He's taking his time.
Suspense is killing me.
Oh, I saw a comment. somewhere between heaven and hell.
Austin from the top rope.
No.
Yeah. All right, somewhere between heaven and hell versus two sides of the coin. We're back up way away from that top shelf, Ken. Get started.
Yeah. Two sides of the coin. I'm going to go with that one. I enjoy it a little bit more than even though the other one's a Gene thing. I'm not going to do it. Two sides of the coin is it? It's not the best Ace song, if you compare it to his solo album back in '78 and that sort of stuff. But it's still decent enough. It's catchy.
Just like Mark, David Donnelly's right too. Yeah.
I forgive David though. He's on medication right now, so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, David. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah. Lonnie, two sides or somewhere between heaven and hell?
I'm gonna go two sides of the coin.
Thank you.
I like two sides of the coin better. Somewhere between heaven and hell is it's like that whole B side of Hot in the Shade. There's just like, how much can we cram on here type of stuff, and that's kind of where somewhere between heaven and hell kind of lands for me. But two sides of the coin is fun. It's an Ace song. Ace is really kind of come into his own at this point in his career after his solo album, and had some good songs on Dynasty, has some good songs on Unmasked, and somewhere between heaven and hell is just a throwaway. So I think that's just, actually just kind of an easy choice.
Yeah. Mark, is it an easy choice?
It's definitely an easy choice. I mean, look, everything what Lonnie said pretty much I have to echo. I think that Ace was feeling, good at this time. He did a good solo record in '78. He did some good songs on Dynasty, and he did a couple of good ones on this album too. Actually, I think most of the stuff that he did on Unmasked, I feel is some of the strongest stuff on there. Fantastic stuff on there. And we've all said it before that Hot in the Shade is not the strongest record. I mean, it suffers from having way too many songs, and songs that probably shouldn't even be on that record. Just unbelievable, some of the songs that were on this record. I mean, I'm sure even our good friend Ken would agree that some of the material on there is just not strong enough for a release on this record. It would not be what Ken would say a classic song on that record. So I think that he would agree with that. And that song is so bad, you would almost think that Bob helped write that song with them, So definitely, I'm going to go with two sides of the coin.
It's a little jab every time.
Yeah. Somewhere between heaven and hell is a complete throwaway. Two sides of the coin. Ace was in ascendancy. I mean, he brought 5 songs into the Unmasked sessions. There is a now sold out book about that.
Very nice.
So, two sides. It's not a great song, but it's a damn sight better than Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell. All right. So next up, we've got, I guess these might classify as classic versus classic. Strange Ways. Ace is in the house today. Calling Dr. Love. Ace versus Gene on the throwdown. Got to start with Ken on that one since it involves Gene. This is a very, very
I like Strange
one.
Ways. I mean, it's a great, yes, we can say classic again, but the great song, great mood to it, and I love Peter's vocals on it. Calling Dr. Love is probably my first favorite Kiss song when I first was getting into them, especially because it's a catchy tune, Calling Dr. Love. Plus the guitar solo is one of Ace's best
Binky solos.
Yeah, one of those great solos, memorable solos. Is just fantastic. So I'm going to go Calling Dr. Love because I just it's a favorite of mine. Just going way back. I always love to hear it.
Actually, I won't be around next episode, so I guess if you can get Mr. Ezrin, you're more than welcome to try.
Ezrin too.
I don't think that would go the way you would hope, but there you go.
Death match between Mark and Ezrin.
I think it'd have to be me and Ken hosting the show.
Well, he wants to kill me, and he'd want to kill Mark by the end. So
Yeah.
why the hell not? Mark's closer down the road. So, Lonnie, Dr. Love or Strange Ways?
Oh, I like Strange Ways. It's really, really good. I love Peter's vocal on it. It's a well-written Ace song from early in the days. But Calling Dr. Love is, I'm not going to say classic because Mark might get offended. But Calling Dr. Love, please. Yeah, but Calling Dr. Love is just great. I mean, they still play it live. It's so iconic. It's an iconic Kiss song. How about
great
that?
Riff in it. Yeah.
It's an iconic Kiss song. Great riff, great solo, great lyrics. I mean, it's just a fun Kiss song. I mean, it encompasses everything what a Kiss song should be. So, Calling Dr. Love, no doubt about it.
Mark, what was yours?
I didn't get to my vote yet.
Oh, okay. Ken, what was yours?
Dr. Love.
Okay, sorry, I'm losing.
Are you listening to this show?
No, I'm just reading the comments. That's more fun.
He's listening to a better Kiss podcast.
So basically, So basically, this again is one of these situations where it's two great songs. But Dr. Love, like Ken and Lonnie both said, represents everything that's great in a Kiss song. This song, Dr. Love, it's got a great riff, it's got a great vocal, it's got a fantastic guitar solo. I think I've seen about 3 or 4 different ranking episodes of Kiss songs where they've said that Calling Dr. Love has the best guitar solo period of a Kiss song from the era with Ace in it, of course. So I agree 100%. It's just a great song, and as good as Strange Ways is, and that also has another great solo in it as well. I just think that there's more of it gelled. I mean, this is the album that everything went right for them after, and we all know, and I don't have to go on in great detail with this, but everybody knows that this album, Rock and Roll Over, was a reaction to the crappy Destroyer that came out before it. So of course they had to put all their best eggs in the basket on this one, and Calling Dr. Love is one of the greatest things on there. If they would have had a song like that in Destroyer, maybe it would have been a lot better.
They did have the song during Destroyer, but it wasn't used. And
yeah, what a mistake that was.
It was nixed by your favorite producer.
Well, it had gone through like 20 different versions before.
That's true too.
Gene got it to stick. I mean, come on, it's like Russian roulette or rotten to the core, or some of his ideas that just refused to die. I would have gone with Dr. Love, but Strange Ways is so fucking cool. Like,
it's a cool song.
It's just a dark and seedy kind of weird song. I mean, guess whose favorite album?
Oh, here we go.
Love Me.
Do You Love Me versus Creatures of the Night. Oh, brutality.
I don't like that.
Yeah, you're uncomfortable, Lonnie. You go first.
I am uncomfortable with that pick because you held up the "Do You Love Me" piece of paper, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be really, really hard to beat, in my opinion, because I really like "Do You Love Me." But "Creatures of the Night," I can't vote against the song "Creatures of the Night." It's so good. I really like "Do You Love Me." I really do, and I really hate voting against it, but in this matchup I have to, because "Creatures of the Night" is so damn good. Just in that drum intro, it just pounds in your ears and just hooks you from the start. And then just place yourself in 1982, like you hear that intro, and like you would have to be thinking, boom, Kiss is back. And I'm sure Ken, that's what you thought when you heard it for the first time. So, but I have to go Creatures of the Night.
All right, Ken, Creatures versus
Do You Love Me is kind of it's a good song, but to me it's not a song that they should be using continually on their live shows. To me, they should have stick something else in there instead. It's not a hit song or whatever, as Paul would say, but I guess to him it is. So Creatures is gonna pick Creatures because yes, it's a great song. It's what Kiss should be or sound like, and it just rocks. Like anything. I remember, putting that on first time when it came out. Man, it just hit you in the face like I can't believe it. It quick got on the phone and called my friend. They're back. So that's the song, easily over "Do You Love Me."
Mark.
I'm going to answer this by saying this. If we had Bob Ezrin actually come on this program, then I would say to him, you want to hear how to produce a Kiss record? Put on Creatures of the Night. Okay, this is how you produce a Kiss record. Not putting ridiculous tubular bells and chimes and all kinds of horse shit on "Do You Love Me" like you did, and make it sound like a Christmas song. Come on. What are you thinking? I know what you were thinking. Not logically. That's what you were thinking. Okay, so Creatures of the Night is easily going to be voted in for me because it has power, it's got balls, it has a great guitar riff in it, and Paul Stanley sings it fantastically well. And Paul said it himself when they're talking about Creatures versus Lick It Up. Creatures is the better album because the only reason why Lick It Up did better is because people listened with their eyes, not their ears. And that's the only reason why it did better. Lick It Up is not the superior record over Creatures. Creatures is far better record, in my opinion. Sorry, Ken, I know you love Lick It Up, and it's nothing to do with you. I still love you, Ken. You're a good guy.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Well, now that Mark's done lecturing Ken, no, I would be Creatures all the way, and it's not because I don't like "Do You Love Me." It's just the power and the bombast of that and everything that it was a declaration of. Oh God, I don't like this next matchup. Getaway versus All Night.
Oh, okay.
All right, Mr. Asylum, go first.
Well, look, everybody knows that I like Dressed to Kill. It's a good album. I think it's really well done. Of the three first albums, it sounds sonically really fantastic. But and Julian just kind of touched on it very briefly there. I'm a Asylum guy. Okay, I've loved that album since the first time I heard it. Okay, and everything on that album, even Gene's songs, which I think are really good on Asylum. Usually Gene's material is kind of weak on this time period. But he stepped up to the plate in this record and did some good stuff. So, and Getaway, while it is an Ace song and Ace usually does good stuff, I mean, this is sort of like a, hey guys, you need a quick song. I got a couple of, 12-bar blues ideas we can use, and that's what Getaway pretty much is. It's just like a simple dan, 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 dan. I mean, I could have, come on, no offense, Julian, but you could have wrote Getaway easily. Okay.
I write better songs than that.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. So to put that against All Night, which is a classic of the MTV period, in my opinion. Okay, so that's gonna get my vote.
What, Getaway?
No, you know damn well which one I'm picking, and that's All Night.
Wait, what? Okay. All right. I did say last week that I thought that, like Rock and Roll Night as a closer, that All Night was a great closer for the 80s. So, unfortunately, I don't get to vote in this. Ken?
Yeah, for me, All Night was good when it first came out. It was new and fresh kind of thing. But I'd rather hear Getaway, in my opinion. It is more your straight ahead rock and roll kind of song, and I like that type of music. And Ace did a pretty good song, and Peter sings really cool on it. It's very New York street type of rock and roll, that song. So I have to go with that one, Getaway. I'd rather hear that. It's one of my favorite deep cuts of Kiss.
Lonnie?
Yeah, I think All Night is fun, but I think Getaway really showcases the other side of Kiss. It's a Ace Frehley written song with Peter Criss singing it. It kind of showcases how good those other two members are that have always taken a back seat to Gene and Paul. And although I didn't vote for Strange Ways when it was up earlier, I think I have to vote for Getaway in this situation.
Getaway.
Oh, here we go.
Getaway is through. No, obviously I became a fan because of the videos for Asylum. Sure. That stuff. But Getaway, it's poppy. It's got a swagger to it. It's rock and rolling. Yeah, it's a thrown together, but it's also just really. It's a fucking fun song. I mean, I would be going Getaway because you guys killed Tomorrow. I would want Getaway to go through, and it is because of you guys. So I want to thank you for doing the right thing, even if it hurt my Asylum feelings. I mean, that's you guys do. You can make good choices.
We're revoking your Asylum card.
We can.
No, you guys are capable of making the right choice.
It's the other side of Kiss, and it's underrated.
Yeah. Thank you. And I don't usually sing his praise. It's only within this context.
Deep cut. Good one.
That's a great thing. All right. No, All Night is fun. Come on. But Getaway is originals under pressure. Hell or Hallelujah. Now, this is a new classic.
That's classic.
Me tell you. It's
according to Paul.
It's a new classic.
Oh, boy.
Well, I'm sorry, Paul. Not today. Hell or Hallelujah or 100,000 years. I see this one going well, Mark.
Oh, I'm going first in this one?
You're going first on this.
Why not?
Well, get
it out of the way.
Paul did say this is a classic, and he's never said that 100,000 Years was a classic, I mean, on the original album, which is the stuff that we're supposed to be basing our votes on.
Yeah,
it is sort of a drudgy, slow song, right? But still, I think 100,000 Years is the song on that album that stands out the most to me for one reason. Like Black Diamond has always been my favorite off that album, but 100,000 Years is that kind of like, whoa, where did that come from song? The leads on it are something really well done, something that I don't think Ace did very often. That guitar solo he does in that song is so well constructed. I mean, every time I watch him play it, it looks like it's a challenge to him to this day to play it. It's not well written, and lyrically they touch on stuff that I don't think they ever really touch on in other songs, like in other albums. So 100,000 Years has always been one of my favorite songs on Alive as well, including the drum solo as well. It's never been a skipper for me, that song. And while Paul, has said that, Hell or Hallelujah is a new Kiss classic, it really is just a robbery of Burn from Deep Purple. And to me, I mean, it's not forgettable, that song, but I would rather listen to 100,000 Years every day over Hell or Hallelujah. So 100,000 Years for sure.
More than Hell or Hallelujah. But there you go. Lonnie.
Well, I disagree. I have a recording from Alive 35 where Paul goes, we have classics, but we also have classics of classics. And he's referring to 100,000 Years.
Classics of classics, huh?
Classics of classics, he says. And 100,000 Years is in that category. And you want to call Hell or Hallelujah a classic. I mean, come on, 100,000 Years. I say this a lot when we're talking about different songs. Like, it's one of those songs is about, like, it's why we love Kiss, because 100,000 Years it's so good. Mm-hmm. I from start to end, and I don't like how they're doing it in concert now. I don't think they're giving the song the justice that it deserves, that they're just playing the end of it. I think that song is so good and deserves to be showcased in its entirety, not just the "Do you feel all right" at the end of Psycho Circus and after a drum solo. I don't think that's fair to how good that song is. So Hallelujah. What? I'm sorry.
Instead of doing that pissant little guitar noodling that they've thrown into the set this year, jam out 100,000 Years in its entirety.
What the heck?
Instead
bring
of
back the preacher.
Instead of the
might be the screecher.
It might be, but I don't think it's right what they're doing to 100,000 Years. I think it deserves more justice than what it's getting because it is such a good song. And like I said, it's one of the songs like the reason why we're Kiss fans. It's on Alive for Christ's sake. So it's 100,000 Years easily.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you.
I interrupt you all the time. You're fine.
No, you don't. You're very polite. Ken.
Yeah, it's going to be 100,000 years by a mile. Hello, Hallelujah. It's
does
just
it
a
really
rip-off
need a
of a rip-off of
justification?
a rip-off.
Right.
So, 100,000 years, just keep it simple.
Yeah, 100,000 years. I mean, just take all those ingredients of early Kiss. Ace is playing, Gene's bass, the drumming, Paul's vocal, rhythm. I mean, everything is, that's just one magical fucking song. Yeah. I'm honored that we got to pontificate on 100,000 years today. All right.
It's going to be a tough one to eliminate.
Let's do two more. And then I see I have a meeting starting, so. Forever. Which is, of course, a classic. Mm-hmm. See? Shadow agrees. Versus a deep cut, a could-be classic. Dance All Over Your Face. All right.
Could be classic.
Who wants to dance all over forever or dance all over your face? Ken?
Forever is a good hit song.
How the fuck did Dance All Over Your Face get into this?
But I don't know. But
that's a great question.
I enjoy Dance All Over. I keep telling you guys, I think it's a fun song. It's the AC/DC Gene song. That's the way I always felt about that one. So I'm going to go with, Forever's I'm not going to go by the video. I'm going to go with Dance All Over Your Face, even though it's probably going to lose. So.
All right. Mark.
Oh, Ken, you disappoint me. I know that, you're a lover of Lick It Up and stuff like that. But really, that's just B-list Kiss, that song. Come on. It's really Against Forever. I mean, I know that you have a deep love for Gene Simmons and everything that he does. So I'm not going to hold it totally against you. And I know that Gene is probably watching and saying, that's my boy there, Ken. Voting for me again. So I understand. But Forever is one of the golden songs in the Kiss catalog. I mean,
that's why they don't play it live.
Yeah, but when does Kiss ever do anything properly? Their whole career has been a complete screw up. I mean, come on. So I think that this song,
here you are every week.
Yes, of course, because we're all screw ups. So come on. So I think that to me, it's no comparison. Forever is such a great song, has a great acoustic solo, just like Mr. Donnelly has just pointed out. What a great guitar solo that song has. And it's not bothered by the fact that you have Mr. Bolton involved in the songwriting of it. That's fine. It would have been bad if Mr. Ezrin was involved with this song. That would have been a bad involvement, but he wasn't involved. Mr. Bolton was involved. So that's why it's a classic song. And that's why it should go through as a great song in a death match. Forever is my vote.
All right, Lonnie. Breaking a tie.
Julian wanted to know how Dance All Over Your Face got through to this round. Well, obviously it's because of Ken that Dance All Over Your Face got through to this round.
No, I looked it up because it was up against Spit.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I guarantee I voted for Spit. So I still blame Ken. So
okay.
But I am gonna go Forever. I mean, come on, Dance All Over Your Face is one of the weakest songs on Lick It Up. And Ken, I know you love Lick It Up, but it is one of the weaker songs on that album. And Forever is really freaking good.
Poke that dog, would you see if he's still alive?
No shit.
Shadow.
Do you have that dog at like a torture device or something? What the hell's going on over there?
He's snoring. He's like, he went for a really long walk and now he's like just tuckered out.
Man. Oh,
There you go. Good boy.
No, it's Forever is a great song. It really. Hey, how many Kiss fans do you know that Forever was their first dance at their wedding? I've seen it time and time and time again.
Yeah.
Forever, and for that reason is because Forever is a great song. So I have to vote Forever over Dance All Over Your Face.
Wonder if anyone has ever played Dance All Over Your Face at their wedding.
At a wedding, yeah.
Man.
No, Forever is exquisite. Forever is, obviously Paul was inspired by Angel, and some of those big ballads that were coming out in the late 80s, but it's an exquisite song. The acoustic guitar, the video
is great.
Yeah. To this day, it doesn't feel like some late 80s cheeseball video. It's a very classy piece of work.
Yeah.
It is a song. I don't think they've had this in the set since like 2008 or something. It's a long time since that one was last played. We catch up on some of the comments before we go, but that's King of the Nighttime World is going through The Oath. I Love It Loud, Parasite, Hate. Might just end up transforming into Tomorrow spontaneously. Two Sides of the Coin, Calling Dr. Love, Creatures of the Night, 100,000 Years, and Forever are going to do battle in round 3 against the other songs that Matt. What was that? All right, so that's it for a death match. We'll do another one in a few weeks. Next week, like I said, I won't be around, so who knows what these guys may do on their own. I want to thank everyone who's chimed in. A ton of comments today, so thank you all for voting on the songs that you like, telling Mark that he's wrong. We need more of that, actually. You guys help make the show really fun when we do these live broadcasts, because a bit of interaction is super fun. Since we do this all week, every week. Wait. Another comment. All right. I got it. All right. We're all caught up. Turn off the comments, go back to the thing so I can do the ending. So that's it for this week. Thanks again for joining us. So from Ken, from Lonnie, Mark, and myself, we'll see you next time. Thank you for spending time listening to the KissFAQ podcast today. All sales are final. There are no refunds. If you'd like, look us up on Facebook or come over to the KissFAQ message board and discuss the topic we've broadcast today. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, Spreaker, or wherever you've listened to the show. We hope you'll join us again.